Blah 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 blah. Hello everybody and welcome to I'll Tell You What TV for our 50th episode of our podcast. That's not including the after shows. They're an after show, they're not an episode. So we're on our 50th episode. Steve and James are with me again tonight, and I want to give you guys a little bit of information, right? Obviously we're celebrating our 50th episode. We've got some new graphics, we've got a new intro, we've got a new picture. Thank you to James for putting the picture together for us. And I've butchered it for
it's been as age 20 years.
Well, the thing is, right, looking at the pictures, I've come up with a couple of things about the pictures, right? This came to me last night. Steve looks like a fat Spock.
Right.
Spock. Think Spock from the new Star Trek movies. Steve looks like a
Siler from Heroes.
Yeah. Steve looks like a fat Spock. James looks like Phil Mitchell's long lost little brother.
I look like I've eaten Phil Mitchell.
Yeah.
Actually, he looks more like Mini-Me.
And he's got a big nose. He's dead now, isn't he?
He is, sadly.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't come up with anything for myself, so if you two want to come up with something for what I look like, feel free to do so. The only thing I could think was...
I don't know what you look like, but you look like you might have just farted.
Quite possibly.
And realised that you followed through.
Yeah. Right, okay. Some stats for you, right, from our episodes. Now, these are just basic general stats. They're not... Don't fucking go and count these, but anyway. In our 50 episodes, we have had 2 falling asleeps. At least 10 live shits. Hundreds of hundreds
one
of
dog burping.
Yeah, one dog burping. Hundreds of fucks, 20 accents or impressions, 1 snowman, 1 shark, multiple crashes, 1 frog, 1 baby, 1 death. And a house with no kitchen, James being underground, and me not knowing my Top Gun from my Days of Thunder.
Oh.
So there you go. Anyway, Steve, James, how are you both this evening?
Doing alright.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I've just been at Toby Carvery.
All right.
And it was just absolutely full of rough people.
I think it's old people.
Well, yeah, old people and then just rough people. I said to Vicky, like, is it just me or is it just seem like a different class of people have turned up tonight?
Was there a bad ambience?
No, we were just like somebody like having a go at somebody, and then like, oh yeah, get off me, Yorkshire, and then this woman going, I did book you in, and I'm just like, I turned to Vicky, I'm like, I don't think she's ever heard of the customer's always right. I did book you in, and then. I was like, what is it with tonight? And it wasn't until I got to Till that she went, oh, have you downloaded the app? I went, why? She says, oh, well, there's a promotion. If you download the app, everything's 60% off.
That's why then, yeah.
So I'm like, no wonder all bloody every man and his dog's turned up tonight.
Fair enough. But at least you're full.
Anyway, back to F1.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, tonight's 50th episode, it's a bit of an interesting... Well, I don't know if it's interesting yet. It's an odd one because we haven't had a Grand Prix just happen this weekend, so we haven't got a Grand Prix to review. But there is a Grand Prix coming up this weekend. But to be honest, we've not really done a lot in the form of previews for races. However, what we'll probably do tonight is we're going to give James the opportunity to say anything that he wants to about what happened at Singapore 2 weeks ago, because for anyone that listened in last week, James couldn't speak properly, so you'll have an opportunity to get any additional thoughts you had, James, across. Also, because you did fall asleep on us last week, we still need to get your we're going to need to get your predictions for this coming weekend. So that is something we'll do. We'll also have a look at some F1 news that's been happening over the last few days, and perhaps a little chat about the Grand Prix this weekend. And then after that, so the F1 talk's probably not going to be for too long, and then after that it's basically going to be anything goes. So as a listener, if you've got any F1 questions you want to ask us, feel free to message them in the chat. If you've got any non-F1 questions or anything you want us to have a look at or discuss, feel free to mention that as well. So, to kick us off then, James, anything you want to add from last week, seeing as you couldn't talk, or have you completely forgotten about it?
To be fair, until you brought it back up, I was like, what? But yeah, apologies to the listeners that they... Well, it depends whether you like my dulcet Yorkshire tones or not. If you do like it, I apologise. I want them able to speak. If you don't like my voice, it's you're listening to the wrong podcast. But well, this is it. What I'm most like annoyed about was on that Tuesday night. So I think it's a week ago today. I had my tooth ripped out. And it looked like a bullet wound. And like right now, it's just starting to heal. So it's nowhere near as painful. And then just to top it off, just as I'm starting to feel a bit better, I'm getting a fucking cold.
Yep.
Like, brilliant. And then Vicky just said to me on late at Carver Show, like, God, is the ever all not right with you? Like, I can't help it. Like, well, bloody hell, every week there's another ailment.
I do it wrong. It's like I said to you last night, though. When you hit that point of turning 30, I mean, you haven't done that yet, but when that happens, shit just goes wrong for you, mate. Trust me. Life don't start at 30. The difficulties of life start at 30.
Even life ends at 30. After 30, you're fucked.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I noticed, obviously, because we were together sort of talking to each other last Monday night before you'd had your tooth out, and you was very energetic and you were very upbeat, apart from the fact you knew you was having your tooth out the next day. When I spoke to you on the Tuesday, completely different scenario. Although, to be fair, you were medicated. I think we went online for a bit of practice. I think this would have been Friday. And we're like, James, how you feeling, mate? Not great, but I'm popping loads of pills. Within 25 minutes, it was like being at a strip club with a guy who's never been to a strip club before. It was like, oh, look at this, oh, look at that, oh, what about this, oh, what about that? He just wouldn't stop talking. And then about an hour and a half later, he was like, I don't think these pills are working. I feel like shit. So anyway,
I think as well, because like, even though like Vicky tuts at me when I say I'm gonna go on my game, and then I come out from like my little
hobby hole.
Hobby hole, and I'm like dripping with sweat. She's like, "It's a game. How can you be that sweat and you sat down?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's just like pure stress. It's like but in a way, it's even though it's like stressful." It's kind of like good for your brain. Yeah. Like your brain like as a bit of a mental workout.
Yeah. I mean that's the thing. It does. I mean, okay, we're talking gaming already. I mean tonight's podcast. It's all right. Tonight's podcast is going to be very hit and miss. If you've come just for F1 talk, it's going to be bits and bobs. But we've said it before, because one of the things about our podcast as well, for anyone that doesn't know, one of the things about our podcast is, even though it's about F1, it's about life. right? Because I've got issues, and Steve's got issues, and James has fucking
What are you
always
trying to
got issues. I'm saying you got issues, mate. You look like a fat Spock. You've got issues. Although saying that, I've got two things I want to say to you, Steve. One is, well done for losing weight, James. You won't believe it. He come round to mine the other day. He says, "Can tell I'm losing weight. My trousers are falling down." And I'm like, "Fuck off, you cunt." And the other one is, Steve, I want to say, did you know that today is a very important day between me and you?
No.
Probably,
Why would it?
probably the most important day in recent times in the history of the planet.
It's your mother's birthday.
No.
I haven't got a fucking clue.
Today is our 11th Facebook friendiversary.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know Facebook's been going that long.
Yeah, it came up on my Facebook earlier today. You have been friends with Steve Paley for 11 years. You may have known him longer. I'm like, yeah, I think I have. He is my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, so happy friendiversary, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, James, you got anything you want to mention about Singapore?
Yeah, out of my brain, like, have we even been to Singapore yet? Yeah,
I'll put you on the spot.
like I
Do you
said,
want to recap?
What were his name? Sirotkin.
Yeah.
He was my driver at day. He were brilliant. He were just, just not giving up. Even when, like, he should have give up, he never give up.
Yeah.
So he went up a few points in my book, did Sirotkin. I mean, obviously there was that moment with Brendan Hartley that were a bit like, oh, you've gone over the line there, mate. But at the same time, apart from that, if he hadn't been racing, it'd have been the dullest race on the planet.
Oh yeah, it would have been. I mean, the thing is, I don't know if you remember me saying on last week's podcast that, I mean, you probably do, but I mean, because I was saying that it wasn't a great race by a long shot, but it was a very entertaining thing to watch because of when people were fucking up. You got people like racing for their lives and doing completely stupid shit, but it made it entertaining. It's a little bit like we watch Formula 1 because we enjoy racing, but if someone crashes, we're going to go looking for it. We're going to want to see it. We're going to want to watch it. We find all that shit exciting as well. So seeing all the weird shit happening in that race, like Perez turning into Sirotkin. I mean...
Oh, hang on.
James is in trouble already.
Forgot a cup of tea for Vicky, that was right.
Vicky will be giving it. You spent all day giving the dogs the dog biscuits, and you can't even bring me the biscuit tin.
Where's my cup of tea to dunk my biscuits in?
Yeah. Now the question Vicky should be asking is it really a game James plays in his hobby hole that makes him sweat so much? If you really want,
whether there's a door on there, whether he shuts himself in.
I think there is a door. The thing is, right, Vicky, have a look at where the sweat patches are that he'll have. They're just under his moobs, they're on his arse, and they're down his back. Do you want to tell me he's been playing a driving game?
When he gets up out his seat as well, there'll be a line where his arse cracks in.
Yeah, there will be. The thing is, though, to be fair, James's setup, it's like if you went to an old people's home to visit a grandparent or whatever, if you're working one and they've got the OAP's chairs, that's what James is using at the minute. I mean, to be fair, it works for him. And I could imagine that they will have more of a butt cheek imprint than most normal chairs would. But yeah, so James will be back in a second anyway. And so while we're waiting for James, I'll just give a recap of the predictions that me and Steve made for this coming weekend in Russia, and then we'll get on to James's predictions when he comes back. Okay, so Steve thinks that Hamilton is going to get pole position. Hamilton's going to win. Podium is going to be Hamilton, Vettel and Raikkonen. First to crash out, he said it'll be Perez if he's racing, and if he's not, it'll be Sirotkin. Dick of the day, Steve said it'll go to Ericsson, and obviously we get to pick who Dick of the day will be. And most positions gained, Steve has said Ricciardo. Now for me, I've gone for Bottas for pole position, Hamilton to win, the podium to be Hamilton, Bottas, Kimi Raikkonen. First to crash out will be Magnussen into Vettel, and Dick of the Day will be Perez if he's racing. If not, it'll be Max Verstappen. And I've gone for most positions gained will be Fernando Alonso. So James, are you back with us? That'll be a no then. So, what do we do while we wait for James then? I don't know. 1 week he can't talk 'cause he's got no teeth.
I don't know. He's going to have to get the sack, this lad.
I know Ray was calling for it last week. Falling asleep on the job. Fucking hell. I don't know.
Typical. We give James the first few moments of the show to discuss his thoughts on last week's race, and then he just
buggers off.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he did ask if we could start an hour later because he wasn't feeling too great. We said, yeah, no problem. And
we should have done it an hour.
An hour and a half. Yeah. He needed more time after going for recovery.
He knew that after recovery he'd need time to recover. That's what it was. Yeah. Or maybe that's where he's just gone. He's gone for a shit.
It could be. It could be. It could be.
Too much cauliflower cheese.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Steve, you'll have to ask him in a little while how his race went last night. It can't
have gone any worse than the previous race, surely.
I don't know. Well, no, it didn't. It didn't actually. But I tell you what, while we're waiting for James, we'll just give a quick plug to the racing leagues that Steve runs and that James runs. James runs an online racing league on Project Cars 2 called Forever Relentless Racing. Links are in the description if you want to have a look at the most unique commentary on any console system or racing league that I've ever seen. So yeah, check that out. And on GT Sport, league that Steve runs with Ray, that's sort of just starting to really get going now. That's Dynamic GT League. Links also in the description. Check their Facebook page if you want to get involved on Gran Turismo Sport. So yeah, come on James, I don't know, we've been waiting ages for James to be able to start this podcast, and then when we get going we've got to wait for him again. It's fucking disgraceful.
You know what the funny thing is? What? For about the last 3 podcasts, there's been things I've been wanting to talk to James about, but he's either had to go early because he was going to be sick or fell asleep, and it's like, okay, we'll save it when there's, you know, for the next podcast. There's loads of stuff we need to discuss with James, and he's not bloody talking.
Yeah, like we need his predictions, and where is he? He's fucked off. I don't know. It's like he's Australian commentator.
Well, when he comes back, we'll have to tell him that we've stopped the podcast to see what his comments are, what he says.
That'd be quite.
It's just us talking between ourselves.
Yeah, we'll have to tell him that we've had technical difficulties, and we're going to record the rest of the show. see how long for it to take for him to realise. The thing is, I mean, what I will say is, to be fair with James, I mean, Vicky is a very understanding person, but at the same time, and James, I can imagine, can be a pain in the arse to live with.
Most of the time.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she's like, James, you haven't done this, and you haven't done that, and you haven't done this. You said you'd do this, and you haven't done it. So yeah.
He should have used that hour wisely, that extra hour he wanted.
He should have done.
Doing all the stuff he should have done.
Is he back with us? James, are you there?
I think he's on his way. Or you could have maybe just heard me opening up my
biscuit tin. That's probably what it was then. Right, I tell you what, seeing as we're still waiting for James, there is some obvious news for this that's coming into this weekend, and that is that Antonio Giovinazzi is going to be teammates with Kimi Raikkonen in Sauber next season. So it'll be interesting to get your thoughts, Steve, and James's thoughts on that if he ever returns. But also, I've been hearing I saw today that What? Are you moving furniture, or are you now snoring really loud?
No, that was a fart. I apologise.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It sounded the noise like a table makes when you push it along the floor. Yeah,
I was desperately trying to squeeze it out silently, but it didn't happen.
It didn't work.
No.
Okay, so the news that I've been seeing today is that Liberty Media are contemplating changing qualifying into 4 sections, having 4 qualifying sessions.
But it's still got to fit within the hour slot.
They may change that. One of the things that they're looking at doing is, obviously, in the first session you lose 5, then you lose 5, and then they're thinking about doing one where you lose 2.
I thought it was 4, 4, and 4. That's what I read.
No, the last one was 2 that I read. Personally,
Welcome, got James back.
I'm here.
Oh, where the fuck have you been?
Well, I had to relocate. I just set up upstairs and I had to reset on the sofa.
Okay, right. I'll finish off what we're saying, then we're going to get your predictions for Russia, James. Yeah, so there's talk about going to 4 qualifying sessions, and personally, I think it's fucking ridiculous. Now, one of the reasons why some people are liking this idea is because people like, I think it was Kevin Magnussen and Grosjean and potentially a couple of others were complaining that they qualified basically they qualified in the top 10 in Singapore, had to start on the hypersoft tyre, but people who started 11th, 12th or further down could use any tyre they want and ended up ahead of them. The likes of Alonso, the likes of Alonso, the likes of Sainz. There's a lot of noise coming through my earpieces at the moment.
That's James supping tea.
Oh, right. It's more like a rustling noise that I'm getting.
I thought it was James going.
Oh, we're rubbing my head. Is it that?
If that's the sound your head makes, you've got a problem. Well, you got a cheese grater for an haircut. So. But for me, that's an argument that is ridiculous for people to make. I mean, qualifying works fine as it is. Fucking suck it up and deal with it.
Exactly.
Although I don't agree with starting the race on tyres you qualified, I don't think everyone should get the free choice.
Well, admittedly, I don't like the idea of starting on the tyres you use in Q2, because then you've got to, instead of going for the fastest lap you can do, you're going, right, well, let's go for the fastest lap I can do while I'm looking after my tyres. That's not what it should be.
Exactly.
Yeah. It should just be put on whatever you want.
Now, if they did it, for example, okay, the first qualifying session, those 5 cars that get knocked out start the race on the same type of tyre, not exactly the same tyre. So if you've run ultra softs and you get knocked out in the first part of qualifying, you run ultra soft tyre at the start of the race. It can be new ones, it can be old ones, it doesn't matter, it's just got to be ultra softs. If you get through to the next part, you can use any tyres you want, and if you're part of the 5 that get knocked out, then whatever tyre type you used, you've got to use that at the start of the race. It can be new, it can be old, it can be whatever you want. And do exactly the same for the final part of qualifying. That way, every qualifying session you can go, right, let's just fucking go for it, knowing that if you do get knocked out, you've got it. So for example, if you wanted to start the race on a harder compound of tyre, you would have to qualify on that compound of tyre. So if you get through Q1, right? You get through Q1 into Q2, and you go, well, we don't want to start on the softest tyre, we want to start the hardest, so we're going to use that in this qualifying session. If we get through to the next qualifying session, we can use one of those tyres again, right, and still start on the harder set of tyre. You get me? But if you get knocked out, then you've got what you want to start on a harder set of tyre. So that's the type of change I would make, not a format change.
Yeah, thank you. Love you.
Love you too.
love you free. Love you long time.
We're all set up, all perfect, and then she comes up and goes, I'm coming to bed now. I'm like, oh. So it took me about 20 minutes to set everything back up so I could be comfy. And then she's down here on the computer. I said, I thought you said you were going up. She went, I've just got to check this email. I'll be 5-10 minutes. So I didn't have to rush.
Anyway, James, predictions for
Russia.
Next Grand Prix, Russia.
Yeah, we need your predictions.
I forgot it's Russia. I was thinking it was Suzuka.
No, seeing as we got to the point on the podcast last week where we got into predictions and we're like, James, are you there, James? And we got nothing from you.
I think I was potentially half dead. So yeah, Russia. There's some 90-degree right-handers, left-handers out here, there, and everywhere. A few long straights.
There is. I'm going to give you some information about Russia as well. The last 6 races at Russia have been dominated by Mercedes, so it could stay the same. It could be different.
Yeah, I'll say.
Well, who for pole first of all?
I'll say Bottas.
Okay. And winner?
Whoever's on P2 will win.
I need a name. From you.
I'll say Vettel.
Oh, okay.
I don't want him to win.
No. And your podium 3?
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
He might be a big superstar, but he's not that big to take all 3 places.
So what do you want now?
Your podium 3.
Oh, I thought I'd give it. Bottas, Vettel, Bottas, Hamilton.
Okay, so Vettel.
In which order?
Actually, I'll say Vettel, Hamilton, Bottas, because Mercedes will do a switcheroo.
Okay, so Vettel, Hamilton, and Bottas. Okay, first to crash out.
Ooh. I'm going to say Kvyat. Fuck it, Grosjean. He can't get through turn 1. Okay. Or turn 2. I think he's crashed in both turn. Oh no, turn 1's a little kink in it. Yeah. It's turn 2 and 3. He's never made it through past there without crashing. So I'll say Grosjean.
Okay. Part that you may not have heard last week is that the 2 random predictions that we're doing for this weekend is who is going to get the Dick of the Day award. That award will be given by me, you and Steve by unanimous decision. So you get to pick beforehand who you think will get it, but on next week's podcast we will have to discuss who would get it.
Dick of the Day. So is it a prediction or not?
It is, yeah. You've got to predict who is going to be Dick of the Day. Steve's gone for Ericsson. I've gone for Perez.
Ooh, yeah, Perez is Dick of the Day. I think I'll go. It's a tough one. There's so many dicks.
So many dicks. James likes dicks.
Not that I like them. There's just too many just waggling in my face, going, "Pick me."
They're just entertaining, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I will go. Magnussen.
Okay. And the last one will be who, by the end of the race, will have gained the most positions.
Who did I say on this one?
You said Ricardo because you think he's going to start at the back.
Actually, I'll change my Dick of the Day to Raikkonen. I think they'll be like, "Get out of the way, you're a different strategy." He'll just fucking ignore him. He might be the hero, to be fair, but in terms of the Ferrari strategy, he'll be the villain. Like, just get out of the way. It's like, I can't hear you.
Just tell me what you want to do. We want you to fuck off out of the way. Oh, I don't understand that. Right, so come on, most positions gained then.
I'll say Raikkonen.
Right.
He'll be like, yeah, I think he'll like start like
Okay.
10th or something, and then make his way up to 4th.
Okay, right. We'll get on to Russia a little bit in a moment. While you were AWOL, James, me and Steve I mentioned that Giovinazzi has been announced today as being Kimi Raikkonen's teammate in Sauber next year. So I am interested to get both of you two's thoughts on that, but also Sauber have already reported that they have had a massive increase of social media following because of signing Kimi Raikkonen. So,
yeah,
thoughts on both of those?
Straight away, Giovinazzi is the one going in, isn't he? Were he in Sauber for 2 races?
He was
last season.
Yeah,
because there were one race where he did really good,
and the other one he crashed.
The other one crashed.
Yeah,
I kind of felt like, oh, poor bugger, you know, he crashes it once and that's it, his career's over. Because in other races, everybody were banging on about him, like, oh, he's brilliant, him. So we're kind of thinking, well, just let him have at least another few goes, but no, he didn't. So in a way, I'm kind of like, kind of glad, and you can go up against Kimi Raikkonen, and seeing as Kimi Raikkonen almost won the Italian Grand Prix, it's not a bad benchmark to go off.
Yeah, Giovinazzi will be the first full-time Italian driver since when?
Giancarlo Fisichella.
That's a name, it's not a when.
2009.
No.
Oh, Liuzzi. 2012.
No.
13.
11.
Oh, yeah, because I remember...
I said 11 years ago, but I knew it was 2011.
I remember it were... I think he were in Italian Grand Prix in a HRT and just sideswiped everybody. He missed turn 1. Went on the grass on the right hand side and just slid across and smashed into everybody. I think he took Rosberg out.
Fair enough. Now, with Giovinazzi, I mean, I was a bit like you. When he came in and had a couple of reserve races, he did do very well. I mean, okay, he struggled in Malaysia, I think it was. Or, no, China, sorry. China was where he crashed. But to be fair, he was in Pascal Wehrlein's seat, and Wehrlein unfortunately was injured at the time. But it did make me...
the Race of Champions incident.
Yeah, but it did make me think, right, who was driving the Sauber last year? You had Wehrlein and Ericsson, was it?
It will have been, yeah.
How much of a dick must Wehrlein feel not staying in the Sauber?
Oh no, Wehrlein, he were in the Manor, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He were in Manor.
Who was in the Sauber then?
The Sauber was... When were Gutierrez in it? Were you? That last year.
Oh
year before.
No, that was years ago. He was, because Gutierrez was in the Haas, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He got replaced by Magnussen.
Yeah, Sauber.
Giovinazzi must have been in the.
No, Giovinazzi drove the Sauber. He drove the Sauber, I'm sure. Well,
yeah, he did drive the Sauber. It was blue and gold one.
It must have been. I'm sure it was Wehrlein.
Well, who else? So Ericsson and somebody. So it's been Ericsson for a few years now.
You can tell how out of touch we are.
It's mainly because you never saw him on TV.
Well, yeah.
I'm just about to say that.
Let's see. Marcus Ericsson. Yeah, it was Ericsson and Wehrlein with Giovinazzi racing in Australia and China. So yeah, Wehrlein was in Sauber. Wehrlein was in Manor before that.
Sorry, I thought Wehrlein went out when Manor went out.
Nah. So yeah, I mean, okay, Sauber may have made the decision themselves to replace Wehrlein with Leclerc, which, to be fair, has not been a bad decision. Leclerc has shown himself to be a classy driver. But if you're Pascal Wehrlein, even though you've gone back to DTM and you've done well, you've got to be looking at that and thinking, well, that was time to fucking shit for me, wasn't it?
It would have been also to do with the extra support that Ferrari are giving to the Sauber team.
Yeah.
It would have been Alfa Romeo, Sauber, whatever it is. And it would have been because he's a young driver from the Ferrari team.
But yeah, I think both Pascal Wehrlein and Esteban Ocon have both been kind of shafted in a way by being associated with Mercedes. Yeah, it's been great. It's got them into Formula 1, but no matter what they've done, I mean, Esteban Ocon, there's no reason in any way that he should be going out of the sport.
But to be fair, I think he is going to end up at Williams. I just think Williams are going to make Mercedes pay for it.
Yeah. Free engines for 4 years, thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he doesn't get in at Williams, he ain't getting in anywhere, I don't think. Not unless there's a new team appear. And we talked a little bit about should Mercedes have a second team, and the answer, I think, is yes. I mean, if there's anything that this experience has shown them, with Ocon and with Wehrlein, it's that they could do with a second team so that their young drivers can go in there and go, right, are you good enough? Yes, right, you can stay there. No, right, fuck off.
Or they need to have enough faith in them, and they should have put Wehrlein, because let's be honest, Wehrlein has been in Formula 1 for a few seasons. He should have gone into Rosberg's seat if they wanted to keep him in Formula 1. Or they should have bumped up Ocon into that seat and taken a chance with him. But they're not willing to take a risk. And why are they not willing to take a risk with their own youth program?
Yeah. I mean that's the thing, that the sort of message it gives other teams. It's like, well, if you've got so much belief and faith and trust in this person, why is he not in your own car?
I think that's why, for the first time in a very, very long time, that's why I appreciate the fact that Ferrari have gone through with getting Charles Leclerc in there, because it'll be the first time in a long time where I'll actually have a Ferrari driver where I'm like, I actually could get behind you and support you. I mean, I know there's Kimi Raikkonen out there, but we all know in his art of arts that unless Sebastian Vettel crashes out, there's no way Ferrari will really get behind him to make him win.
No, they won't. I mean, you look in the history of Ferrari, even when Eddie Irvine was better in Michael Schumacher, the only time that Ferrari backed Irvine over Schumacher was when Schumacher broke his legs.
And even then, they didn't back him.
Yeah.
Because they said, oh, well, if Schumacher comes back, we still want him to have an opportunity of scoring more points than you.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's Ferrari for you. But, I mean, they are doing something new by putting a young driver in, that's for certain. Just so you know, there's a lot of noise coming over the headsets at the moment.
Oh, sorry. It's me and Bella are having a bit of a hug. Sorry, I forgot all about it.
That's all right. You just have to get her to talk on the podcast.
I know it wasn't me making the noise. I'd press mute so I could blow my nose.
All right.
Otherwise, you'd have heard this.
No, thank you. Lovely, yeah. Tune in for a quality F1 podcast with shits, farting, burping, sneezing, sleeping. What was I going to say? So with Giovinazzi teaming up with Kimi Raikkonen at South, I mean, I was thinking about this, right? Because we talk about Wehrlein and Ocon like having the problem of being associated with Mercedes, but then someone could go, yeah, but Wehrlein was in with Sauber before, so what's the problem? But the difference there is that Sauber car had a Ferrari engine that was never going to be upgraded, and it didn't matter if Mercedes took it apart, because they wouldn't learn anything from it to compete against them in that current year, because it's old engines, it's old technology. Whereas now, because Sauber have got this year's Ferrari engine, they don't want a Mercedes driver driving their engine. For a couple of reasons. One, any knowledge they may gain, and two, as we mentioned last week, you're training up a driver for somebody else, and that's not what they're wanting to do. So yeah, Mercedes, I think, perhaps need to pull the finger out and go, well, you know what, there's these group of guys from Rich Energy who want to be in Formula One. Maybe we could help them out.
I mean, their ideal opportunity were. I mean, I know that Force India had a fair amount of debt, but Man and Marussia, they were just begging to be bought by somebody.
Yeah.
And I can't understand, like, why, Bella, what are you doing? You're gonna get what are you doing? Go over. No, you're gonna get wrapped up. Why are you? Go over there.
The thing is, not only so go on.
I just don't understand why, if a Formula One team wanted to come in, if there were actually somebody out there wanting to come into Formula One, buying up Manor was the best option. Yeah, Lance Stroll's dad's gone and bought Force India, and yeah, that is proven to be a very good team. But I mean, all it takes is one fucking Mexican to fuck it all up.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, one Mexican cost them a shitload of points at the last race. Something else as well. I mean, if Mercedes have a second team, and this has happened in Red Bull as well. It's not just your young drivers you get to bring through. I heard that gulp in like as if someone was drinking it next to me. Yeah, it's not just the drivers, the young drivers that get to come through. It's the young engineers, the young mechanics, the aero designers, every aspect of your race team. You can bring youth through, and you can find new people. So if you're at Ferrari and you're going, oh, we need a new chief aerodynamicist. Who shall we get? Well, at least you can go, well, in Sauber, there's a guy there who's really, really good. Or we could try and pinch this guy from another team who's better. You got a comparison. Or you can go, no, this guy will do it. There's a lot more to it than just drivers and engines and stuff like that. So, but I do think it is good for Sauber. I don't know who's making the decisions at Sauber over the last year and a half, right? Because I remember when Manisha Kaltenborn was there, and I was going to say I liked her, but not in a sexual way. No, it was more. I liked the way that she came across. No, don't. I like the way that she came across, and I like the way that she conducted herself. However,
I liked the way that she was very optimistic on getting 5 drivers for one car.
Yeah, exactly. She was definitely not a pessimist. But whoever has been making the decisions at Sauber over the last year and a half, 2 years, has been doing a fucking excellent job. Because you look at, okay, yes, they've got the Ferrari engines and they've got some Ferrari assistants. But how they're conducting themselves as a team and what they're achieving as a team is beyond all expectation by a long shot. And
I think it's mainly just because the previous year, like you say, they had not only were it out of date engine, wasn't it like a 2-year out of date engine?
Well, by the end of the year, it becomes a 2-year out of date because it wasn't getting modified all the way through the year.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure when it was like a changeover, there was something. I don't know what it was. It was before it became Alfa Romeo. I think it was that year when it was the blue Sauber. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure before the season started, it wasn't the previous year's engine; it was the year before that's engine. Because it were when. No, sorry. Yeah, I think Steve's right. Yeah, I think it was just the previous year's engine.
Yeah.
But all the engines have been updated. Due to the size of the wheels getting bigger. So that'll have been the 2016 engine in a 2017 car, and it wasn't being updated. And yeah, that's why the 2017 blue and gold piece of shit, that's why it was such a piece of shit. But then stick a brand new engine in it. I bet even if they'd have done no updates to the car and just stuck that engine in it, I bet they'd have found 3 seconds easy. Yeah,
they would have done. But by the decision making though, I'm meaning like taking that risk and going, Kimmy, do you fancy having a drive with us? Look how we're doing. And then going, hey, Giovinazzi, we think you're really good. How about you come and race with us? Your teammate will be Kimi Raikkonen. You can learn from him, and if you beat him, you're going to get known as a phenomenal talent to look out for in the future. Ferrari may be waiting for you.
I personally think it were all over. It were all thought out by the chap that's just keeled over. That
Marchione.
I think it'll have all been organised by him, and then he's gone and keeled over, and we're just now seeing what he's put in place.
Quite possibly. Okay, so let's move on a little bit. Russia then, this weekend. It's another street circuit. It's one that I don't mind driving around it, but it's not a. We're not going to see a great race there, are we?
No. It's a pre-made DRS track.
But if it wasn't for the DRS, I don't think there'd be any overtakes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Nah. For me, I don't know. It shouldn't be on the calendar. We shouldn't be going. I'm not one of these that's totally against Russians or anything, but we shouldn't be going to Russia to race.
I wouldn't mind going to Russia to race, just as long as they had a good racetrack. I'm sure there will be a good racetrack out there somewhere.
What, in Russia?
Yeah, I'm sure there must be a. Even if they went round like an abandoned runway or something, it would be quite.
You know why there's no Russian F1 teams, don't you?
You know about there were Mana Marussia. I thought they were half Russian.
Yeah, no, all right. Then why there's none now?
Oh, because Putin's murdered them all.
No, because the drugs testing's too strong with the FIA. That's what it is.
Well, I was meant to do this earlier today, right? I was meant to Google. I was meant to try and do some research into a record of overtakes. Now, I don't know if there is a website out there that lists how many overtakes has been done in each Grand Prix over the last however many years, but it's something that I do want to find so we can talk about it at some point.
And if there isn't, we should make one.
Quite possibly, yeah. But then we'd have to. But this is the thing: you make one, but where do you get your data from? Because if you're getting your data from somewhere, then somebody's already made it.
Not necessarily. The data might be out there, but in lots of different places. What you're on about is putting it all in one place.
Yeah, putting it all in one place so you can go, right, okay, at last year's Russian Grand Prix there was 10 overtakes, how many this year? And the reason I mention that is because...
just so you know, I'll be back in 1 minute. So, let's throw it.
We're counting.
20 minutes later. Yeah, because I mentioned last week that there was we only saw 7 overtakes in the Singapore Grand Prix. Right, and Russia's one of those tracks where, as I said, I like driving round it. It's tricky, it's awkward in the final sector. It's got a fast long straight, a couple of fast corners. There's a rhythm to that circuit, isn't there, Steve?
Yes, it is actually one of my better circuits for racing on, but I don't know why that is. But maybe everyone else hates it more than me.
But when it comes to a spectacle for racing, I don't think we've ever seen it. There's been big crashes at the start. That tends to be the big feature of that race, and then after that, I mean, your overtaking opportunities are so limited. I mean, if we go through it, okay, turn 1 is a kink. Turn 2, that's an overtaking opportunity. And then you're into turn 3, which isn't really an overtaking opportunity. Turn 4, people have tried and failed. Bottas and Raikkonen twice.
Yeah.
Turn 5 isn't an overtaking opportunity. Neither is turn 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's not until you get to about turn 17, I think it is, which is at the end of the next DRS straight, but even that isn't the best of overtaking opportunities, and then there isn't another overtaking opportunity until you're back at turn 2. So it's another racetrack that Formula 1 is going to, or another circuit should I say, that Formula 1 is going to, where there is only 1, maybe maybe 2 overtaking opportunities. And that for me is something that I think the people in charge need to be looking at and going, okay, pick a racetrack, any racetrack, Steve, a proper race circuit.
Interlagos.
Okay, Interlagos, right? You look at Interlagos and go, right, how many overtaking opportunities are there at Interlagos? Okay, turn 1, okay, so turn 1's a possibility. The exit at turn 3 actually is a possibility. Turn 4's a possibility. Turn 5 isn't. Turn 6 isn't. Turn 6 isn't because it's the fast right-hander. Then you're into the tight corners. Right, the first tight right-hander is an overtaking opportunity. The next tight right-hander is an overtaking opportunity. Effectively, the final corner is an overtaking opportunity, and then you're back at turn. Right, okay, you've got 4 or 5 overtaking opportunities that can stay on the grid. You go Sochi and go, well, it's only got 1, maybe 2. Right, let's fuck that off. Let's go somewhere else. Now, okay, someone will go, well, what about Monaco? That's the special street circuit you keep, and you fuck all the others off because the overtaking opportunities just aren't there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Formula 1 cars can be fantastic machines to see and hear and admire, but people pay to watch races, not processions.
The only street circuit I can think of where there's an overtaking opportunity is Baku. But the problem with that is it's one overtaking opportunity down the main straight. And even then, it's more of a drive-by rather than an overtake. Because by the time you've got your slipstream, got your DRS, you're passed before the even lap's over. Never mind getting in towards turn 1.
Yeah.
So it's not great.
Take Red Bull Ring, turn 1. It is a potential overtaking place. Turn 2, potential overtaking place. Turn 3, potential overtaking place. Turn 4 isn't. Turn 5 isn't really. Neither is turn 6. Turn 7 is, and then you're over the line. Well, turn 9. But anyway, there's more overtaking opportunities on a track that's only got 9 corners than a street circuit like Singapore that's got 22 corners. I mean, this is the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it's not straightforward mathematics or physics when it comes down to corners per overtaking opportunities, but it surely can't be that difficult to look at these racetracks and go, yeah, this isn't working. Or, for example, look at GP2 or F2 racing at some of these circuits and going, well, they've just had a phenomenal race around Sochi with loads of action and loads of overtaking, but in Formula 1 there's been 4 overtakes in the whole hour and a half race. What's wrong? Okay, it may be the track, it may just be the style of cars. Now, okay, they're trying to make changes to the cars and hopefully it's going to help.
And if it doesn't, then they've got to look at the tracks.
Yeah. There is no point. It's a little bit like going, right, let's go and play in as England in the World Cup, but there's going to be no goals, right? There are going to be no goal posts, no nets, nothing, and you need to score goals to win. It ain't going to happen. Right, James is back with us. His 1 minute was 5 minutes 25 seconds.
Well, it was short last time. I just got upstairs, thought, I need a wee. I'll have a wee. Then I come downstairs.
I want a biscuit.
Took my tablet and then thought, oh no, I've left my throat sweets upstairs, which I went to go get in first place.
You just reminded me that I forgot to have my tablet today, so I'll take that. So a little bit like Singapore, I'm not expecting a fantastic race this weekend, not by a long shot. But if it can be entertaining, like Singapore was, it'll save it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it will be.
It's just shit, innit? It's just. I mean, the only car that's got any worth is that big long left-hander. Apart from that, the rest of it's just dog shit.
But I mean, yeah, it's not the greatest of racetracks, and I mean, not only that. It's not just the layout that's not particularly great. It's the tarmac that's on it either. I mean, okay, street circuits are dirty, but
I don't get how they can go there with the softest compound that Pirelli provide this season, and it will be able to do 90% of the race.
Yeah.
Competitively, it's just, I wouldn't mind if they had to make a special softer compound, or a more degradable compound just for Sochi.
Yeah. Or just
or
something
that tires, right?
What I want to see is some tyres that are just so hot, like they keep going, oh, well, we've gone for a softer compound and all this sort. No, give us fucking really fucking hard tyres that do not grip at all. Like, just super hards. Give me them. It'd be fucking brilliant. Watching them sliding through all corners.
They'll last forever, but they won't get round a corner. Now, did either of you see Ted try and cook an egg on a tyre?
Yeah.
I saw him try. Well, but that mechanic just wanted to slap him.
Well, the thing is, I saw it from the practice sessions in Singapore where Crofty sort of said, "Ted, I want you to go and get me an egg." He's like, "Why?" I says, "Because I want to see if you can cook an egg on a tyre." And he's like, "I'm not doing that." It's like, "You have got to go and find an egg." 5 minutes later, he's like, "Crofty, I've got an egg." And I'm surprised in a way that any of the teams let him try it, but they did. But it didn't work. But I did find it interesting that he was saying, I mean, the tyres are sort of too hot to touch. So Bella must love your microphone,
No, I'm just trying to get comfy, when you just like...
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it.
Get comfy.
Don't get comfy. If you get comfy... Yeah, don't get comfy. If you get comfy, you'll fall asleep. That's what happens.
No, I promise I won't.
You need to sit on a stool with just one leg.
Sit on one of your bollocks. You'll be alright. So, yeah. Anyway, I've got a theory, a thought, Steve. I think Sochi will be the return of the Heineken Star over the track.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Yeah. It's my favourite thing.
Or there'll be a new vodka sponsor deal for this one.
Quite possibly. So, come on then, guys. Anything else about Russia? Anything you're looking forward to? Anything you're not looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Putin turning up 10 laps from end.
But, I was going to say, a prediction that we don't have to put on the prediction sheet is between what corners will the Heineken Star be?
Oh, it'll be.
I reckon.
Go
on. My guess is the second DRS straight somewhere.
Nah, I reckon it'll be. But in the second sector, I think it's about turn 7. There's kind of like a double left-hander at a football stadium. Quick left-hander. I think it'll be on the straight going into that corner, or on the exit of that corner by the football stadium.
I think it's a velodrome, isn't it?
Well, there's a football stadium there as well, isn't there?
That's outside the circuit.
All right. I think they go under a bridge, don't they? I think they're going to put it on top of bridge.
Don't drink and drive. This sign will fall down.
That's turn 14, I think.
Don't do it, James. Do not get comfortable. Yeah. Yeah.
I bet he's there on the sofa with his pillow and his duvet.
Yeah.
I'm all sorted. I'm fine. I'm not going to fall asleep. I swear to God.
Bullshit. So come on, anything else about Russia? Come on, you've got to be looking forward to something for me.
Russian women. Eventually act.
Well, I tell you what, here's a little story for you. You know, a few weeks ago we talked about Mick Schumacher.
Yeah, and he won some more races.
Not only has he won some more races, he's won 5 in a row.
Right. And have you heard what Ferrari have said about him?
No, go on.
Ferrari have said he is welcome within their F1 garage at any time. Now, that's not offering him a seat, but they've just basically said the door's open and you are welcome to come and visit us whenever you want to.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I've got a little story for you, because you know how when we talked about Mick Schumacher, we talked about how he is trying to forge his own career and not race off the back of his name, right? Well, interestingly, a Red Bull Junior driver who has been competing against Mick Schumacher, and this guy's name is Dan Ticktum, he's come out with something interesting recently, which is on the back of Mick Schumacher winning 5 races in a row. He's basically, well, the short version is that this Dan Ticktum, I think, won one of the 2 races before Mick Schumacher did, but has been only just about getting on the podium recently, and he's come out and in the short version said, unfortunately I am fighting a losing battle as my last name is not Schumacher. Yeah, and he said, like, okay, I'm going to read you this. I am simply suggesting that it seems to have come from nowhere. He's on about Mick Schumacher's pace, right? It's come from nowhere. I never said it was illegal. I appreciate I have lessons to learn still. I'm not denying that. You don't know the real story because you are not at the track looking at everyone's data. So I'm afraid I have to tell you that your opinion is invalid under these circumstances. Now, just before that paragraph, he did also say, to all people who have left negative comments on here, this is the one and only response you will get from me, so enjoy it. I am not a sore loser, neither am I salty. I have huge respect for Mick, who I've dealt with a lot in the past few years. And then he goes on to say everything that I've just mentioned. It's like, yeah, he's not salty or a sore loser, but because his name's not Schumacher, he's not winning.
Yeah, but I think that also what he means by he's got to beat the name as well is when it comes to wanting that drive in a bigger team like in Formula One. You know, if your name's Schumacher, people are going to take notice. The media are going to take notice, and the sponsors are going to take notice. And if you're running around saying I'm a Formula One driver, I want to be a Formula One driver, and I need a sponsorship deal to get into Formula One. If your name's Schumacher, you're going to have them coming knocking on your door rather than you having to run around.
Yeah.
So it's not just. I don't think it necessarily. I'm not saying I can't say for sure what this guy Dan Ticktum meant by it, but it could also mean sponsorship deals, seats in cars, or anything.
It could do.
I do know this. That Dan Ticktum, the Red Bull driver, he it's basically been said at some point he'll be in Toro Rosso, but he doesn't have enough super license
points.
Qualification points to get into Formula One yet. So he's not done enough driving in the lower categories. But it baffles me because that must be like a newish rule. Because how the fuck did Max Verstappen do it when he went from karts to 1 year in open wheelers to into Formula One?
Verstappen was the last. They brought in a rule after that, didn't they, where you couldn't be under the age of 18 and you had to satisfy the exact points.
Criteria,
So, yeah, that's Verstappen. It was because of Verstappen that it got brought in. So, yeah. I mean, I can imagine some people might, like the younger drivers, may find that rather annoying and frustrating, but I ain't got a problem with that, to be honest, because the last thing Formula One needs is some young kid who's been backed by a lot of fucking money getting into Formula One that can't fucking drive it.
But what happens though if a 16-year-old gets into F2 and in their debut year wins it, but then they can't race in F2 because the champion can't do a second season in there?
Yeah, well, we mentioned that about a fucking year ago, that they should get rid of that, because then you make Formula 2 stronger, and in turn that makes Formula 3 stronger, and then all of a sudden, instead of Formula 2 doing 8, 9 races or 10 races a season, they've got enough funding and backing and attention to do a complete season with the Formula 1 crews.
Yeah.
James, sit up, James. So yeah, I mean,
should we do something to wake James up?
I think we might have to, you know.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to.
What you got in mind?
What's your favourite accent you can do, James?
Well, at the moment, none, because I've got a sore throat. But
oh shit.
that your Rani impression.
You can do any impression you want, but I just wanted to know what your favourite one was.
I'd probably say Austrian.
Austrian.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to give you a little book to read.
Oh no, I can't read. I've got a sore throat.
What's your name, Perez?
I didn't see it. There was no room.
Right, I know that for
no
a fact
room to read.
It's not going to let me send this all in one go, so I'm going to have to send.
Good.
I'll send you in 3 paragraphs at a time.
Fuck's sake.
Okay.
I'm not good at reading either. On a
That's
good
what's
day.
going to make it funny.
I don't even know what. He's not even sent it me, James, so I don't even know what the fuck is going on about here.
Now, and the viewers are just going to have to listen rather than. In
See.
fact, I'll put it in the I'll put it in the tell you what chat, so Dave can try and read it and understand what you're trying to say.
I'm not going to be saying no because I've got a sore throat, Steve.
There you go.
This is what all I'm imagining in my head is me being a baby and Steve being my dad trying to feed me.
Yeah, I'm not eating. Here you go.
I'm not eating. Here you go. Here it comes. 3 paragraphs. I'm not having
Right.
it. I'm not wrong. You can send me it all you want, Steve. I'm not saying no. I'll do it next week.
No,
No, it's got to be done now.
No, I can't.
You do realise,
I'm
James,
not feeling well.
when you was asleep last week, this is what you were meant to be doing.
But there's no way. Last week I was like,
I think you've got to make it up to the viewers, James.
Yeah,
Give them something
yeah.
extra now.
Yeah.
well, I'm sorry if it. No, don't make me feel bad.
I tell you what, right? You've got a sore throat. Don't worry about doing any accents. Just read it.
Where is it? Hang on. Right.
I wonder if it'd work in Hando.
Probably.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's not coughed for an hour and 10 minutes, but now he's been asked to do something. Hey James, your phoning in sick voice is getting better and better.
It is.
I'm free. I'm really not feeling well.
I'm not feeling well.
The boss says,
shit all down my leg.
I was gonna say, what the boss says. What's wrong with you? Oh, I keep shitting. Well, why? How come you sounding like you got a sore throat? Oh, well, I've got that as well.
I'm shitting out my throat.
Oh dear.
Right, go on then, James.
Vicky, well, like, I bet you've had more sick days than the holidays. Shit. Right. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey hee-haw. He only had 3 legs. He was a wonky donkey. Right, okay. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey hee-haw. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. He was a winky donkey. Wow, fuck it. A winky wonky donkey. Right, here we go. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey hee-haw. He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. Yeehaw. He was a honky donkey, winky wonky donkey. I only made 1 mistake. That wasn't bad.
Yeah, there's more. Yeah.
There's more. I was. This is like a really shit Elvis song. I was walking down the road. Hang on. Right. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey hee-haw. He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music and was quite tall and slim. He was a lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I bet all F1 listeners were like, what the fuck? I was walking down the road and I saw donkey hee-haw. He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music, and he was quite tall and slim, and smelt really, really bad. He was a stinky dinky, lanky honky tonky, winky donkey. Oh, fuck's sake. Winky wonky donkey. Okay. I was walking down the road, and I saw a donkey hee-haw. He only had 3 legs, one eye. He liked to listen to country music and was quite tall, slim. He smelt really bad. And that morning he got up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was a cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, donkey, winky, wonky, donkey. I think I did alright.
More. Yeah, there's more.
Fucking hell, Steve. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey hee-haw. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. And he liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim and he smelt really bad. And that morning... he got up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was always getting up to mischief. He was a hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, donk. What a thing, winky, winky, donkey. Right, last one. This is the fucking last one. Steve, you send me anymore. Right. Oh shit, it's gone off. Oh no. It's gone off, Steve. It's gone off. Oh, it's come back. Right, okay. I was walking down the road when I saw a donkey hee-haw. He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall, slim, smelt really bad, and that morning he got up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was always getting up to mischief, but was quite good looking. What the fuck? He was a spunky, hanky, panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey, hee-haw.
Well done.
Well done.
I'm off to bed.
There's more. There's more. No, there's no more. That's it.
I was going to say, do you know what you'll have to do with that, James?
That'll be a song next week. Dave will put it on like with an app swear. Do like song talk.
Time for more humping. With a spunky, hanky, panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. Hee-haw! What I was going to say was, what you should do with that is get Nigel Bolt to tell it as a story, as one of his experiences while he's been away.
Yeah.
I went riding on a stinky, tinky, winky, wonky donkey.
I went on holiday and there was donkeys for hire on the beach, and the only one was left was this one. He only had 3 legs.
Paul's coming round on Thursday to do the commentary, so I'll drop that on him when he gets here, because I think if I do that beforehand, he'll just go, no.
Yeah, just drop it on him for definite. I'll tell you what, I've got something for you. I'll tell you what, actually. I'd said last week on last week's podcast that because we weren't doing the after show, that I would send James a video that he'll need to do a voiceover on, and he's now just realising, shit, yeah, I haven't done that. So I haven't got it for you, folks.
Well, to be fair, I did that race. I did the race last night in my racing league. I felt utter shite, like proper shit. They wasn't until after the race when I got out of my chair sweating like a pig. So I thought to myself, you know what? How the fuck have I just done that?
Well, okay. For anyone that's been watching our podcast, wanting F1 talk, I think it's fair to say, because of the wonky donkey, we are now beyond our F1 talk. So I'm going to change the picture that I was showing so that it indicates that we are on to talking about anything, right? So if any of the listeners have got anything at all, non-F1 related, that they want to mention to us or ask us about, feel free to do so. But I've got something that I want to sort of mention to Steve and James. Now, I know that James is into his space stuff and I'm into my space stuff. Steve, I don't know, might be interested in space stuff. And I know I'd mentioned a couple of weeks ago about Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm curious, James, whether you've had a chance to watch any of his videos yet.
Neil, it don't ring a bell.
You know, that doesn't ring a bell. We talked about him on the podcast.
It must have been a slave.
Yeah, I sent you videos of him. He's a scientist, a world-renowned scientist, physicist.
It's not that black man, is it? That
Yes.
Is it him?
Yes.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right,
honest. I didn't see the video, but it's the one that that Cosmos bloke that I've been watching on Netflix.
Yes, it's him, right? Honestly, get on YouTube and look at some of his, or listen to some of his. You know how you said you like to go to sleep listening to a podcast? Listen to some of his. Like, I'm listening to one at the minute.
He normally listens to us.
To us, yeah.
Well,
the thing is, if you put Neil deGrasse Tyson on, then when Vicky wakes up, she might be able to go back to sleep because it's not us laughing about cars that with dildo noses.
Yeah.
But have a listen to, and for any of our listeners that are into space or science or anything like that, check out Neil deGrasse Tyson's videos. He is phenomenal. In all honesty, he makes Brian Cox look boring as fuck.
I think it all comes down to like what your taste is. Cause I find like the way he talks about stuff like quite entertaining.
Yeah.
Like he knows it like sounds stupid, but he makes it like plausible. And whereas Brian Cox is just very, and that's amazing because it's all about. That's why I love physics.
Yeah. Well, here's one of deGrasse Tyson's examples of how nature and the universe is not as simple as you might think. Okay. Question for you two: if you were to flip a coin, right, what are the chances of getting heads or tails?
Well, you want us to say 50-50, don't you?
No, it'd be 33 1/3 because there's an edge to the coin as well.
Well, it ain't gonna land on the edge, you knobhead, because you're catching it in your hand.
You might catch it on the edge. You didn't say that though.
It's not happening. Oh, I said heads or tails. I didn't say or on the edge. So, chances of getting heads or tails?
50-50.
Okay, so you've both said 50-50, right? Okay, I'd agree with you. It's about 50-50. So let's say then that you get 500 people and they've all got the same coin, and you're going to play a game. And that game is, you flick up the coin, you catch it. If it's heads, you stay in. If it's tails, you're out. So on the 50-50 projection that you two have just given me, that means from 500 you end up with 250. Those 250 do it again. 50-50, you're now down to 125. You do it again, you're now down to 75. You do it again, you're now down to 34. You do it again, and you keep going until there's only one person left. But how can it be 50-50? Because that one person would have had to have landed on heads 10 times in a row.
Yeah, so even though something mathematically should be correct, nature in its very form is not always mathematically correct.
Yes. The storm.
That's why whenever they bang on about the idea of a theory of let's say the theory of what's happening, it's just a theory. It's not an actual. It's not a fact.
No, it's a thesis.
Right. Okay.
This is something I've learned from Neil
deGrasse. Isn't that what comes out your backside?
No. Nice try. No, this is something I've learned from Neil deGrasse Tyson. Is that a thesis is an idea. A theory is a thesis that has been proven to be true.
Right.
So, for example, James, you could go, the sun is made of honey. Well, that's a theory. A thesis. If you then go up there, bring back honey, it's a theory.
The moon's made of cheese, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is. Now, the reason...
I saw it on Lois and Gromit.
The button.
That was the moon, wasn't it?
It's a button. It's a button. Button moon.
I said the moon, did I? What did I say?
Sun.
Did I say the sun? Oh, fuck.
I
Said the sun.
I don't know. I couldn't hear because you were sticking your microphone up your bum by the sounds of it.
Sorry.
Right.
I'm going to get some paracetamol.
Now, the reason that...
Giving him a sore arse.
Now, the reason that I've brought up Neil deGrasse Tyson isn't actually because of Neil deGrasse Tyson. I will recommend go and watch his videos, go and listen to him. He is phenomenal to listen to. But the reason I've brought it up is because through watching some of his videos, I have found something that has surprised me.
Oh yeah.
And I've literally spent the last 3 weeks watching videos about this particular topic. Out of sheer disbelief, to be honest. So I'm going to ask you to another question. This planet that we live on, what shape is it?
Well, technically, if you look from far, far away, it's round, but it's not perfectly round.
It's a ball shape.
It's a ball shape. So James has said round, and Steve has said a ball or a sphere. So would it surprise you then to find out that there are people that still 100% truly believe we live on a flat Earth?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of the flat earthers. Well,
you have.
I've been watching a lot of the videos to do with people debunking the flat Earth theory.
Is it Simon Dan?
It might be.
Or is it Conspiracy Cats?
Something like that. But anyway, what gets me though is how can people think the Earth is flat if it's night time in one part of the world and daylight in another part of the world?
But this is the thing that gets me, right? That's just one of the many things, right? Because that's a question that scientists have said to us, like, well, hang on a moment, if we live on a flat Earth, because it's not just that we live on a flat Earth, it's that we live on a flat Earth and that the sun, right, the moon is not 250,000 miles away, it's about 3,000 miles away, and the sun isn't however many millions of miles away, it's actually only about 6,000 miles away. That's their theory, that's their thought about it.
Are these people called hardcore Christians?
Some
like, they believe that like God created Earth in a day.
You see, now Dave the Harps put a comment here, and it's something that I actually saw on Facebook, and they actually tweeted it. Right, the Flat Earth Society tweeted what Dave the Harps just written. Well, they didn't tweet what he wrote. What Dave's written is the same as what they. The Flat Earth Society has members all around the globe. That's what the Flat Earth Society posted. So they think that the sun is like only 6,000 miles away. Scientists have said to them, well, hold on a minute. If the sun is that close, how come you have night time? And they're like, well, what happens is the sun, right, it goes around the flat Earth and only lights up part of it like a spotlight. And scientists are like, no, the sun is so bright that if it was only that distance away, everything would be in sunlight all the time. And they're like, no, you're talking out your arse, you are. You don't know what you're talking about.
If it were that close, we'd all be burnt to fucking death.
But also, I did Phileas Fogg around the world in 80 days.
Well, this is the thing, right? They've got videos where they're going, right, prove to me that the Earth is round, because I'm stood on the beach and I'm looking out to the ocean and the ocean is flat on the horizon. So one of these people, Simon Dan, is one I've been watching. There's a young American scientist as well who's very interesting to watch. And so they put footage up that's been taken from the ISS space station that shows the perfect curvature of the Earth. And what do the Flat Earth Society members say? Oh, well, it's fake, that. So, no, it's not fake. Oh, no, it's fake. And if you believe that it's real, you're off your tits, mate. It's like, well, hang on a minute. You think we live on a flat fucking planet. But not only that, right, I mean, it goes on and goes on and goes on, right? There was one the other day that I saw where this guy, he was trying to debunk gravity, saying gravity is not real, and his proof... Jesus Christ, James, what are you doing? That sounded rather dodgy, that did. Right, he said, I can prove that gravity does not exist. He said, if gravity existed, then how come clouds don't fall to the ground?
Yeah, I've seen that argument. And it's because they're full of water molecules that are so small and so light that they're lighter than air.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And when they get too heavy, what happens?
It rains. They do fall to earth.
They fall to the earth as rain. But these people don't believe that shit. I'm trying to think of another one. I mean, there's so many of these fucking examples that they've given. Like, because they basically say that the Earth is flat, and all around the edge of the flat Earth is an ice wall. A little bit like on Game of Thrones. There's an ice wall that goes all the way around the edge. And when
you're going to say Truman Show.
No. And when they've been told, it's like, well, hold on a moment. What about those people that have circumnavigated the North Pole? Oh, well, they faked it. They made it up. It's like, well, that's your answer to any scientific proof. And even Neil deGrasse Tyson was asked the question. So he was asked, how do you handle people who believe we live on a flat Earth? And he said, well, I just ignore them, to be honest. And he was asked why. He says, well, it goes like this. They say, prove to us that there is a curve in the horizon. So we show them images from the ISS. They say it's fake. They then say, right, well, prove that gravity is real. You prove it's real, and they go, it's fake. Well, at that point, there's nothing that you can show them that would make them change their way of thinking.
Well, the best way to prove that there's the horizon is if you go to somewhere that's got a very tall building. This will even work in Blackpool, the Blackpool Tower. Stand at the bottom and wait for the sun to set. Jump in the lift and go to the top of the tower, and the sun won't have set yet.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Or, for example, if you're standing on the beach and a boat goes out to sea. As it gets further and further away, the bottom of the boat will disappear before the top of the boat does. But anyway, I mean, there was even one
That's because it's falling off the edge of the flat Earth.
Yeah, it could
Stupid.
be. I mean, there was another one where there was like a row of pylons at this massive lake in America, right? A row of pylons that clearly shows the curvature of the Earth. And what do the Flat Earth Society members say? It's fake. It's fake, it's not real. It's like, well, we're giving you photographic proof of the curvature of the Earth and you're not accepting it. But for anyone that, I mean, there's only one argument that a Flat Earth member has made that has made me go, you know what, that is a fair enough question, but the answer to it is perfectly valid. And the question was, if the Earth is spinning at 17,000 miles an hour, how come we don't feel it? How come we aren't flying off the planet? And
we do feel it.
Well, hang on. Well,
gravity.
Yeah. Well, that is part of it. But I mean, this is something that it's one of their base reasons for saying that we live on a flat Earth, is that we aren't being thrown off the planet. And for example, water. One guy actually got a basketball and said, look, if I pour water on top of this basketball, the water goes all the way down to the bottom. It finds its lowest point. This is proof that gravity on the planet is not real. It's like, no, you've just proven that gravity is real because the water, under the force of gravity, has found its lowest point. But this is how fucked up they are. But I thought that was a valid question, though. We're spinning so fast, how come we aren't going flying off? And the example, hang on, the example that was given was, if you are on a train doing 100 mile an hour and you jump, you don't go flying backwards, do you? You carry on with the train because the air inside the train is doing the same speed as the train, and that's the same for us. The atmosphere we're in is spinning with the Earth, so we don't get blown off the planet.
Right. If the Earth was flat or like a plate, a disc, and it was spinning at however many thousand miles per hour you just quoted, right? Surely the outside edge has to spin at has a further distance to travel than the inside edge to rotate one turn. See my point? Yeah. Like a wheel. The outside, so like the bigger the wheel, the faster you can rotate at the same speed, but it'll travel further. It actually goes faster, whatever. So if that was the case, the further you are to the edge, the slower it would feel like you're rotating. So if you were quite close to the centre of the Earth, if the Earth was flat, your brain would be spun out in your head, literally, because you'd literally be spinning on the spot.
Yeah.
If you were literally right in the centre of the Earth.
Yeah.
If the Earth was flat.
Now, James has been rather quiet for a while, which means he's either been listening intently or he's getting even more comfortable.
Now I'm getting more comfortable after got up again. Yeah, I just think these people that think they live on a flat earth, they're fucking idiots, and there's plenty of fucking idiots out there.
Yeah. One of the best things I saw was it was like a meme. It was a picture of a spaceship leaving the planet. And it was the Flat Earth Society on the spaceship saying, "We just want to thank you, Ground Control, for proving to us that we were wrong by sending us into space and showing us that the planet is a globe." And then the next picture with it a bit further away going, "Ground Control, hello, hello." And then the next picture with it even further away going, "Is there anybody there? We want to come home now." And then further away, it's like, yeah, we got rid of them knobheads. But
yeah.
I mean, it's... Yeah. So anyway, check out Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's brilliant, he's funny, and he's not afraid to swear. So if you're thinking it's a boring science guy, he's not. He is really entertaining. And
yeah, well, the main reason why I first noticed who he actually was, I think he were on a programme with Craig Ferguson, and they were like, "Oh well, if they get on,
yeah,
then he must be, he mustn't be a complete knobhead." Because, like I say, I woke up this morning and I felt absolutely fucking rotten. I felt like shit. Like, and now I'm not feeling great, but this morning I just felt absolutely like, like, you know when you wake up and you just feel sick, but you don't want to eat all.
Yeah.
But you know that if you ate something, you probably feel a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up and I was like, went to the toilet and I was like, I just want to just not that I like suicidal thoughts or all like that, but you just kind of just want to go, oh fuck's sake, just take all pain away. Pump me with something, and then I don't have to feel all.
Is that what you say to Vicky? Pump me with something, Vicky. Pump me.
It's usually getting a bat out and smacking it around the head. But yeah, I'm feeling naff, and then literally after 5 minutes of watching a Craig Ferguson video, I was just like, yeah, I'm feeling better now. It was just something. It was something he said to somebody. I think it was he had the girl on from Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
And she said to him, "Oh, Craig, it was really bad because it was first Valentine's Day, and I woke up and my partner had put a little gift next to side of bed, and I didn't know we were doing it." So I turned round saying, "I didn't know we were doing gifts," and then she went, "I just felt really, really bad, I just didn't know what to do." And then Craig just literally looks at her and goes, "Yeah, I bet you knew exactly what to do if you'd not bought a present."
Yeah.
And then she was like, "What are you on about?" I'm like, "Yeah, you know." And then it got later into the conversation and stuff, and then he did his typical thing of, "Right, do you want to end the show with an awkward pause, or play with the harmonica, the mouth organ, as he calls it?" And she goes, "Oh, I'll just do the mouth organ then." He goes, "All right." And then she goes, "I don't know how to do this." And he goes, "Oh, it's easy. Just imagine you've been given a gift on Valentine's Day and you've not bought out in return." And she went, "What do you mean?" I went, you know what I mean. Yeah, just blow on it.
He is good for that.
Literally, just I think that were only like within 30 seconds. I was just kind of like, oh. But it's weird how little things like a little bit of comedy can really perk your day up.
Yeah. Well, music as well, right? I mean, Dave the Heart, for example. Dave the Heart posted something on Facebook quite late last night, about 1:30, and it was something like, I think it said something like 19 years ago this song came out, and I was like, fucking hell, that was a while ago. Listen to it, and I was like, you know what, that is a fucking brilliant song. I can't remember what it was fucking called now. Dave will probably remember if he's watching. I'm going to go onto his Facebook page anyway. It's also got a chopstick story to a chopstick story to tell about Dave, but I don't know if I can. But,
I forgot about
You'd
that.
have to see if you can get his permission first.
No, he won't give it. Okay, so the song was Eric Pritt's "Call on Me." So I was listening to that last night, and I was like, because like last night, James. I mean, I was not in the best of moods yesterday evening.
Oh, well, I thought, because I turned the audio off.
I didn't fucking know you'd done that either, by the way.
Well, that's the only... After the first week's race of they are effing and blinding every single driver on the circuit, I could not concentrate, and I thought to myself, it's Monaco. I'm not going to be able to concentrate. So as soon as the lights go out, I'm going to leave the audio of the engine on, but I'm going to turn the chat party audio off. So I did that. And in a way, it was probably one of the best things, really, because I could say what I was thinking, but I never got a reply, obviously. So I think there were a moment where you took the lead in the race, and I'm like, yeah, go on, Dave. And then... I
heard you say that, though. I heard you say nice move.
So you could hear what I was saying, but I couldn't hear anything anybody else was saying to me. And then at one point I ended up getting in front of you, and then from that point it was literally block at every corner, and drive like my life depended on it. And then it got to end at race, and then I turned the audio back on, and all I could hear was Dave going, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm fucking annoyed. I'm sorry if I fucked you off. Anyway, it wasn't you. No, it wasn't you. I'm like, oh, thank God for that.
See, I didn't know that for basically 33 minutes, James couldn't hear a fucking word I'd said. And for, 28 minutes of the race, I was... Well, no, weren't I? It was for about 20 minutes of the race, I was following him and talking to you. And I'm thinking, okay, he's not responding. Obviously, he's concentrating. And then, in the end, I find out, it's because you muted me, you wanker.
But, it must have worked, because I ended up beating you, but...
Yeah. It was that bullshit penalty at the end. But no, I wasn't in the best of moods last night. But then I heard the song that Dave had shared, and it cheered me up. And that's when I sorted out finishing off all the graphics for today's show. And so I went from being like, not in a bad mood to, what, fuck it, I've just seen a video of semi-naked women. I'm happy now.
What surprised me the most is, I think it was not this week, but I think it was last week, Carly and Jason have been married 30 years.
What?
Who?
Yeah.
Hang on, no, they're not married. Kylie's single.
In Neighbours, from Neighbours.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
30 years ago they got married.
Jesus.
So I used to have a thing for Kylie back when I was about 15.
Yeah. You're not the only one. I've got a little story to tell you.
Is it about spiders?
No. Nursery rhymes updated for the 21st century.
Black. Oh, sorry. Can't say that, can you?
No.
That's bullshit. Absolutely bullshit, because I saw a black sheep the other day.
Yeah. Okay, so here's one for you. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. The structure of the wall was incorrect, so he won 10 grand with claims direct.
It's all political correctness now, isn't it? It's bullshit.
Yeah. It's raining, it's pouring, of course it's global warming. Jack and Jill went into town to fetch some chips and sweeties. Now he can't keep his heart rate down, and she's got diabetes. Georgie Porgy pudding and pie kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, he kissed them too because he was gay.
Yeah, that's old, that though.
Mary had a little lamb. It ran into a pylon. 10,000 volts went up its arse, and its wall turned into nylon. Oh dear. Anyway, right. What else have I? Oh, right. Okay, there is something else I've got for you. Go on.
You've got to tell us about these spiders.
What spiders?
You told me to remind you.
Oh fucking hell! Yeah. Well, I mean, I told Dave. Well, I didn't need to tell Dave the ARP about it because he was on PlayStation with me when it happened, and I told James about it last night. But anyway, do you remember, Steve, that I mentioned to you a while back that I saw a big spider and I couldn't get it. It disappeared.
Yep. Yep.
I think the fucking thing reappeared.
Yep.
Right. I was practicing racing with Dave the ARP, and I'm up on a qualifying lap. Right. I'm like, this is going to be personal best. Smashing it by half a second as I see a giant fucking spider run from behind the TV stand over to the left, and then it just stays there, and I'm like, holy shit, that thing's fucking huge. Its body was about an inch long, right? And then it started coming towards me. I was like, right, fuck that, I'll be back in a minute, Dave. I fucking gave up on the lap, jumped up, grabbed my trainer, fucking squashed it dead. Fucking freaked me out.
Oh, poor bugger.
But,
Ronnie, come in to say hello.
but
What about?
Hiya, Dave. Hiya.
I eat all your bugs. But that wasn't the weirdest thing, right? About a week ago, I think it was before last week's podcast, as somebody's rustling in their nuts.
No, I've just got Bella licking me.
Right.
No.
Rustling in his nuts.
Right,
Can't lick me head.
Steve knows what my living room looks like, so he'll be able to picture this. Other people may not be able to, right? I was quite tired, I was watching TV, and all of a sudden I noticed under where my curtains are by my first set of windows looked like a black ball of fluff. And I thought, don't remember seeing that before. Oh well, and I ignored it. And I was carried on watching TV for about an hour and a half, went to bed. Got up the next day, sat down, ball of fluff is gone. And I'm like, okay. 2 or 3 days later, I'm sat there playing on the PlayStation as all of a sudden a spider, a small spider, comes running from under my TV stand, and attached to one of its back legs was another spider. So it was dragging this other spider. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Now,
Probably mating.
well, they may have been. It could have been 2 spiders mating. I don't know how they fucking shag. But it ended badly for them. Let's put it that way. I was not having that. It freaked me out. I don't like spiders.
They were just having time of their lives, and it ended.
Right. I've got something for us to do, guys.
Okay, can I just ask James a question first?
You can if you want.
How do you spell yes?
YES.
Okay. What does EYES spell?
Yes. Yes. It's like E.T. saying yes. Yes. Yes.
I didn't know if it'd work or not, but it did. I'll leave it there confused.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I could tell you, James, you're wrong. But
What?
look into my.
Yes. That's. Are you meaning ears? Are you trying to say ears?
No.
No, but it's eyes.
Oh. My ears are bad today. I cannot see very well. Yes.
Now, see, that's something else you could get Nigel Bolt with. Don't mention anything about that to Paul, and just record that. Right, okay, I've got. I tell you what, Steve's daughter is going to love the fact that you fucked that up so gloriously, because I did exactly the same, pretty much. Right, okay, guys, I have sent you both a list of things, right? Now, these are would you rathers. Okay. Now, this is something that we were going to do last week, but James was fast asleep. So, got a few would you rathers for you. Steve's got some, James got some, I've got some. So I think we should have a quick run through a few of these if you're up for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who'd like to go first?
I'll go first. So I don't know who I'm asking this to, or is it both of you?
Both.
Okay, would you rather be an ugly genius or a hot moron?
What technically defines a moron?
Stupid person.
Can't even put your shoes on.
Well, to be fair, most good-looking
Doesn't know how
people
to
are
spell
morons
eyes.
because they don't have to talk to people.
You know how to spell
I'll
eyes.
I'll be a hot moron then.
I think I'd probably rather be a hot. Looking how ugly and fat I am nowadays, I think I'd rather be a hot moron.
I'd rather be neither.
You can't. Okay, would you rather eat chocolate flavoured shit or shit flavoured chocolate?
Well, definitely chocolate flavoured shit.
Yeah, I'd agree with
Yeah,
that one.
definitely.
Come on then, James.
Have I got it?
Yeah, I've sent them you.
Oh, I thought I was just making it up. I'm gonna say with you, have a dog lick a dog in the mouth, or
You know you wanted to say you let a dog lick your balls.
no, yeah, lick a dog in the mouth, or when you go to the toilet and you don't have any toilet paper, let a dog lick your balls.
Oh. I'd rather lick a dog's mouth.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just in case the dog enjoys the other one too much.
Yeah. Right, okay, what was the one that was on your list then, James?
Oh, I don't know, hang on. Bella, get off my iPad, I need to have a look. Hang on. Oh my god. Oh. It was, would you rather lose your sex organs forever or gain 200 LBS, whatever that is,
Pounds.
for the rest. Where's it gone? For the rest of your life.
I'd probably gain the weight.
Yeah, I think
Could always
I'd gain
lose
the
it
weight.
again.
Yeah, I'd gain the weight.
Oh, me, innit? Would you rather have your thoughts broadcasted so that everyone will always know what you're thinking while you're thinking it, or never be allowed to wear clothes but to keep your thoughts to yourself?
Oh, definitely. Have my thoughts broadcast, then at least. Because I usually end up broadcasting them myself anyway.
That'd make an interesting film, though, that would. Oh, I think you're really nice, you fucking arsehole.
I think it was a film with Ricky Gervais. I think it was called The Invention of Lying.
I've
It
seen
wasn't
that.
very good.
No, it's not bad for what it is.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, I think I'd pick the naked one. People don't need to know what I'm thinking, trust me. Okay.
Yeah, but if you were naked, you'd not go out anywhere, so what's the point of not going out anywhere?
Yeah.
You might as well just stay in, wear clothes, and not go out so no one knows what your thoughts are.
But they'd still know what your thoughts are, because it's still being broadcasted. They might still be able to hear it. Okay, would you rather have sex with a hideously ugly person or a beautiful, fresh corpse?
Corpse.
Yeah.
I'm not answering that.
As long as it was fresh, I wouldn't want it like a few days old.
I've been with some that are rigid anyway, so...
Come on, love, you're like a dead horse.
A sack of taters.
I've had more motion out of a fucking radiator.
Right, who's is it now?
James.
Oh, the pain, Bella. No, the pain. The pain of reading.
reading with his ears.
My number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, would you rather get explosive diarrhea every time you meet your boss, or every time you with your parents, with your partner's parents?
I think I'd say the partner's parents on that one, because I'd just never see them.
I'll say the boss then, 'cause I'd never see a boss.
Thing is, when I saw that one, it made me think, well, James has kind of been in this situation where he had no loo roll and rang his boss, so...
Yeah, I was just sat there thinking that this could take a while. Yeah, it will end where... It was a good job I had my phone on me. If I didn't have my phone on me, I wouldn't know what to have done. Just have to wait until somebody came.
You'd have been alright if they'd have come in with the dog.
Don't worry,
next
James. I brought a dog.
Would you rather cut off one of your own fingers or pay $5,000 of your own money for the person you hate the most to go on a spa vacation?
I'd pay for a spa vacation for some dickhead, because you could always shoot him when they get back.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I won't chop off my own finger. Nah, fuck that. Need it for picking my nose.
I'd pay for them to go on the spa vacation and then cancel it. Just as they get to the airport.
I'd let them have a great time, and then when they come back to reality, just get a fucking bulldozer to run over.
Right, this one, I think we could all relate to this one. Would you rather go bright purple when embarrassed, or sweat so much you soak your clothes? Well, see, me, I do the sweating one anyway.
Yeah, I think I do anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'd probably say purple.
And I do go purple, kind of. I mean, do you remember I mentioned that there's a girl at my local shop with dreadlocks that I found quite attractive?
No, you'd not, but now I know that.
All right, okay. Well, yeah, there is. I made a bit of a twat of myself the other day.
She might be one of our listeners.
She might be. Well, you see, I've tried to do a couple of sneaky things so that she can know what my name is, right? So, for example, my mum bought me a T-shirt that says something like,
"My name's Dave."
Basically, kind of. It's some. I can't remember what it says
on your
now.
back, my number is. And the fucking back.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That.
Find me.
You can find me on YouTube on a Tuesday night.
Find me masturbating looking at the window at this address.
I can't remember what it says on my T-shirt now, but it's something like.
Oh, I'm glad
if looking lost, please return to the address.
Yeah. No, it says like life's better with a Dave or something like that. So quite often I've worn that T-shirt. But anyway, I was in there.
You're like, oh, Barry.
Yeah.
Who's Dave, my boyfriend?
Yeah. So anyway, I've been into the shop before when she's been there, and there's a really old guy that has obviously got some mental health issues that lives around here. And I was in the shop, and she was being very kind to him, and he was just chatting and chatting and chatting. I thought, well, I'm not going to get annoyed. That could be me one day. Plus, he's getting more words out of her than I ever fucking do. So anyway, I was in the shop a couple of days ago.
Dave's getting fucked off with somebody with mental health.
So anyway,
I want to chat to her. I think you can have your chat somewhere else with somebody else.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the shop a couple of days ago, right? I'm at the counter, and it's the girl. Her hair's changing, by the way. It looks like she's getting rid of her dreadlocks, and the redness is fading out of it. So something's going on there. So I'm at the counter. We're sorting out, like, paying my bills and stuff. And this guy walks in, right? And he said something to her, and she went. She said something that was like, blah, 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 like, do you need a hand with that, Dave? And I was like, oh, right. And at the moment, I was about to say, no, I'm all right, thanks. But I thought, no, because she's not talking to me. Obviously, his name's Dave. So I didn't know what it was that she'd actually said. All I heard was the bit about Dave. And she said, oh, you just have to hang on a minute. And then a few moments later, she's having a problem with the till. And she was like, if you can hang on a minute, Dave, I'll sort it out for you. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And she sort of looked at me, completely gone out. I was like, well, my name's Dave as well. So I thought, well, if the T-shirt didn't work, now I've actually told her what my name is. She knows what my name is now. And it was at that moment that somebody else went, oh, yeah, I'll tie your shoelace for you. So what he'd wanted was help tying his shoelace. And there's me butting in, trying to chat up a girl, making a dick of myself when a guy needed help. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm Dave. So, yeah. But the number on the T-shirt's not a bad idea, though. Anyway, on to the next Would You Rather. Whose turn is it? James, it's yours.
Oh, right, okay. Would you rather have a head size of a tennis ball or size of a watermelon?
Not watermelon's not the same, not far off the same size as a human head.
I don't know.
I was thinking if you had a tennis size head, you could get in all sorts of little nooks and crannies.
Is that what you call it?
You could be, like when you're looking for something and you're like, oh, if my head's just too big, if I could just fit it in there. Like
cables behind a TV where the gap's not big enough to look. Or you drop something under a bed that's got a low side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and imagine watermelon, your fucking neck muscles be fucked.
Right. Steve?
Is it me?
Yeah.
Would you rather have your partner look through all your text chats and email history, or your employer?
Well, I've got neither. So,
I'm not bothered, it's got nothing tied.
Right answer. James is thinking about it.
Sorry, what question?
He does anyway. Would you rather have your partner look through all your text chats and email history, or your employer?
I wouldn't care because they'd be bored to fuck. Either of them. They'd be like, oh.
Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah.
Naked women. So probably your boss, you'd rather see it then. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather fart every time you laugh or burp every time you cry?
Well, burping every time you cry would be... to be fair, fart already how many times I laugh, so...
The thing is, farting when you're laughing just adds to the laughing.
Yeah.
So,
but I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. Having hiccups for 2 hours, though, is no fun.
Oh! No, it was about that when I was around your house the other day.
Yeah.
Dave was hiccuping for about 2 hours straight.
Well, that thing is, that's not the whole story, right? Steve got the hiccups, and when we get hiccups, it's painful as fuck, right? Steve gets the hiccup, and he hiccups 2 or 3 times. He goes, oh, fuck off, hiccups. And I said, they don't disappear by telling them to fuck off. He didn't hiccup again. What happens? I get hiccups for 2 hours fucking straight, and I'm in agony.
Going, fuck off, hiccups, fuck off, hiccups.
And nothing happens, just fucking, oh. If it ever happens again, I'll have to record it, because it's fucking painful. Right, James.
Right, who's next?
James.
Oh, would you rather peel your... Fuck me, I can't think of what worse. Would you rather peel all your nails out of your fingers or pull all the teeth out of your... after the teeth out of my mouth, it'd have to be the fucking nails.
Yeah, I think I'd have to say that.
One tooth is... Well, the 2 teeth in the past 6 weeks is just fucking dumb, man.
Could I leave one fingernail in and pull one tooth out?
I don't know, but it's weird because right in centre of my thumb on my left hand, on my thumbnail, the centre of it started fucking just like falling apart. And I'm like, oh no, what the fuck?
That's the pressure from underneath being on the control pad on PlayStation too much.
Could be.
Oh, it could just be that because I haven't been eating much. My body's just dying.
Could be calcium deficiency.
No, I was actually watching someone on House the other day. Someone had that. They had herpes.
Oh, brilliant.
I was going to say, I'm sure it wasn't herpes. I think it was cancer.
Oh.
Yeah, from curable to now you're dead, mate. Right, Steve, it's you.
Would you rather smell terrible, but you can't smell it, or your partner smells terrible, and you have to smell it?
The first one.
Yeah.
I've been the first one.
Apart from you probably wouldn't end up keeping a partner.
You wouldn't keep a partner if they stunk.
Well, there's what's that, deodorants?
It's when you go round to the missus and go, you know what, it always smells really nice and it looks amazing with all these candles in your apartment. That's when you should go, hang on a minute, do I stink?
Yeah, because the reason why they've got all the candles out and made it smell nice is because they know you're coming.
Yeah. Okay, would you rather drink 2 litres of piss or 2 litres of sweat?
That's a tough one. That is. That's a toughest one.
I'd say sweat if it was dripping off my own head.
Oh.
I'd say piss if it's been chilled in the fridge.
Oh no.
Well, no, I couldn't drink warm piss.
I don't think I could drink piss at all. Well, I don't know. If it was a survival situation and you had the choice of 2, I'd drink the piss because it'd be more nutritious.
Yep. Is it me now?
No, it's James.
Would you rather have no arms or no legs? I'd say no legs, because at least with your arms you can sort something out.
Sort something out? You could have a wank, is what you mean? Alright then, would you rather have... This isn't one of mine, but... I know, it's not one of mine. Would you rather have no arms or no legs, or 1 arm and 1 leg?
Depends on which arm and which leg.
On the same side.
Yeah, I'd keep my right arm and right leg. Anyway.
There's a reason for that, and I don't want to know what it is. Go on.
Would you rather have your body found, I'm guessing you're dead, or your body found on a pile of sex toys on a pile of drugs? If you were dead, I don't think you'd care.
Both.
James?
Have we lost?
Sorry, what question again?
Would you rather have your body found on a pile of sex toys or a pile of drugs?
Well, I'd probably say body found. You mean when you're dead? I won't care because I'd be dead.
That's what I said, yeah.
And well, I'd probably say sex toys.
Fair enough. Would you rather be born with an elephant trunk or a giraffe neck?
The elephant trunk would be more useful.
I think James needs elephant ears.
Well, sorry, I'm literally. I feel like I am just like my body's just shutting off.
That's all right.
He needs elephant ears.
Sorry, we can end in a moment. Let's just get through these. So, James, would you rather be born with an elephant trunk or a giraffe neck?
Ooh, giraffe neck. Because just imagine all people you could snoop on.
So, a giraffe neck with a tennis ball head.
Yeah.
Okay, on to yours, number 6.
Would you rather crap your pants in public once a year for the rest of your life, or crap yourself in private every day for the rest? Crap myself in private to do that every day anyway.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that. Dave?
Go for the public one. Why not? Everyone will have a laugh. It only happens once a year.
Would you rather be a vampire or a wizard?
Ooh. A wizard. I just love...
vampire.
You see, I love the idea of being able to lie in bed and go, lighty-o, offy-o. Or going back to one of the earlier questions, I'm a hot ball rod wizard, make me intelligent. Or, yeah, there's so much you could do as a wizard.
There's so much you can do as a vampire.
Yeah, bite shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, live forever.
Live forever, yeah. But it's a wizard, you could probably live forever. Make me young again. Bosh, done. Okay. Would you rather be able to teleport anywhere or be able to read minds?
Read minds.
Why?
Teleport anywhere.
Why?
Read minds just so that you could, like, you could just work out what the likes and dislikes of somebody that you like.
So in other words, you could go, oh, Star Wars, and instantly you'd know if they go, oh, fucking hell, or, oh, cool.
Well, they could be like, oh, well, I don't know how you do it, but...
Right, okay, James, on to your last one then.
Right. You can only hear one song for the rest of your life. Bohemian Rhapsody or Ring of Fire. I'd say Bohemian Rhapsody because at least you get like 3 songs in one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better than Baby Shark anyway.
Oh, fucking Baby Shark does my fucking head in. To be honest, I was going to say to you two, let's make a spoof video of one of us doing that and the other one fucking twatting them. And then somebody else has made it. I mean, it's made it into Ibiza clubs, you know.
Yeah, I know. And James like, what the fuck are you on about? YouTube Baby Shark and you'll find out.
You don't know what Baby Shark is?
Nope.
So you don't know about this new craze then of people doing videos where they get out of a moving car and sing or dance while the doors open next to a moving car?
Nope.
Okay, well, it's a thing, and it's transformed from people. I think it was Kiki. There's a song about Kiki which started it off.
Kiki, do you love me? Yeah.
And it's been taken over by a song called Baby Shark. And how does it go, Steve?
I'm not singing it. Baby Shark, baby, and then it goes, Mommy Shark, Grandpa Shark, and all that bollocks.
It fucking does my
best.
Let's
go hunt, Yeah.
We'll have to get James to do it.
Yeah.
Of course. What led us on to that anyway?
The last question.
Oh, right. My mind's just gone totally blank then.
Oh, well.
Complete silence.
I think James has gone blank. Never mind his mind.
I was going to say, James, do you want to tell Steve about your thoughts so you can give your league a little bit of a plug? Do you want to give James your thoughts on your new character, or are you going to keep it private?
I'll keep it private, and then you can just like review, experience it, with and then you can just like come back to me and tell me what you think.
Okie dokie. When will that be?
It'll be this weekend, I think.
Okie. Dave,
Yeah.
before we go off air, sending you a message, see what your response is to this.
Oh, God. What will this be then?
Wait for it.
Okay, for some reason, there we go. Ooh. Okay, James's dad's not going to be very happy. The Man United v Derby in the cup tonight, 2-2 at full time, and Derby County won on penalties at Old Trafford.
But not only that, Fellaini scored in the 90th plus 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, to make
otherwise
it 2-2.
Otherwise Derby would have won it.
Now I was watching the first half of that, but obviously I had to stop to do the podcast. You know, sometimes when you open a picture on a computer, you end up with like a row of previous images at the bottom. I saw one and thought, why the fuck is there a picture of a vagina?
What?
It's not. It's James's picture of his missing tooth that he sent us the other day. It's just because it's. It's just because it's a small picture. Like all I saw was fleshy skin and a hole. So
gaping hole.
Gaping. Yeah. Sorry.
Now you know it feels.
Yeah. So apologies for that. Okay, there was something else I was going to mention, but I can't remember what it was. So, is it time for us to bring this one to an end, do you reckon, guys?
I'd probably say so, just because I feel like my brain's going to fucking shut off.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I will mention, though, is I know, James, previously you'd mentioned to us in private, I think it was, that you would like some time to perhaps do some broadcasts of us doing some, like, shooter gaming.
Oh, yeah.
There's a game on PlayStation which Steve's not overly keen on, but I think he'll get more into it.
Hang on. I was getting my ass kicked, so I decided to put a different game on for a bit.
Yeah, okay. Steve doesn't like it because he was dying. It's a free game on PlayStation Store at the moment called Warface. Download it, right?
Yeah.
There's online co-op modes, so you're not against other humans, you work as a team and you go killing people, and it's not easy.
But don't ask me to be the medic, because otherwise I'll just die all the fucking time.
Yeah, Steve is a medic, right? What happens? Oh, I'm dead. What do you mean you're dead? You're meant to be the one healing. Oh, I'm dead. Fucking get to the checkpoint, he comes back to life. Oh, I'm dead. So what the fuck are you doing? But there's also online modes where you can do like team death matches and stuff. But I just thought it's a free game. You might as well download it. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. If it is, maybe it's something we could do gaming on, and we can always do a gaming sort of show on our on the I'll Tell You What TV YouTube channel. And
actually, just thinking, if Dave the Arp was to download it, he'd be able to join us on it.
Yes, he would. I mean, anyone that's got PlayStation can download it. It's not difficult to do or use. Shouldn't take too long to download, unless you're James. What was it? An update on Project Cars, right, Steve? A couple of weeks ago. Mine took 6 minutes. James says, bear in mind his race is due to start at 8, and this was, I think, 6 o'clock. So I said, James, mine says it's going to take 6 minutes. How are you getting on? So it's going to take 4 hours.
I had to turn everything off in the house, right? Including like Vicky's phone, everything off of Wi-Fi, and then it won't like Vicky was in a bit of a mood with me the other day. What the hell's up with that? Then I said to her, what's up with you? And she went, oh, you know what it is? And I went, no, I don't. So otherwise I wouldn't be asking you. And she went, oh. You bloody turned my Wi-Fi off if you to pull my data. I went, what do you mean? She went, oh, well, I didn't know you'd turn my Wi-Fi off. I went, what's wrong with that? And she went, well, I've used up all my data. I've got no data now. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, that means
so we're in doghouse.
That means she can't use the internet when she's out and about, you see. Yeah, I don't know. Just for your fucking game, James.
I know.
See, I think I've decided that I'm just going to stay single. You know, if I meet someone, it's like, look, we're not living together, we're not spending every day together. And if she says why, I says because you'll do my fucking head in, I'll do your head in, and I've got shit I like to do. That probably won't be what'll happen. I'll be like, I want to come and see you. I want to come and see you every day. But no, fuck that. No offence, but no. I can't do it.
Yeah. Nah, like I say, you just need to leave a little map for this lady in the shop to come find you.
No. The thing is, right.
Or just leave a note just saying, my name's Dave or something. Just keep leaving notes. My name's Dave.
Well, the thing is, right, I had to go into the chemist a couple of weeks ago to get some medication, right? And there's a lady that works in the chemist, and she's rather attractive too. Now, when I had to go in there twice, 4 weeks ago and 2 weeks ago. When I went in 4 weeks ago, I was like, right, there's 2 prescriptions here. One's for 2 weeks, and then the next one is for the following 2 weeks. I was like, okay, no problem. So I went in a couple of weeks ago to pick up the second prescription, and the lady, like, she asked my name and everything, and she was like, well, this...
Well, at least she knows your name.
Well, she does now. Well, she says, well, it's dated for tomorrow, so I can't give it you today. And I was like, oh, does that mean I've got to come back then? She was like, well, yeah. I was like, okay. So the next day, I go back. I walk in, she looks at me, and she goes, Mr. Paling, isn't it? And I was like, she remembered my name, she fancies me. That's how my brain worked. It was like she remembered my name, she was fancy me. So now I've got to think about the woman in the chemist, but actually I'm thinking, you know what, she's probably just very good at her job. That's why she works in a chemist. It's got nothing to do with attraction, but that's the way a man's mind works at times. It's like she smiled at me, she fancies me. No, she just laughed at the dickhead t-shirt you're wearing, you knob.
Well, she knows what the medication's for and has made a note of it to avoid you.
Exactly. Well, that's the other part of it. I mean, it's like you can't go in there and chat her up. It's like, okay, so what medication? Oh, right. Got crabs or us? No, that wasn't the medication, by the way. It wasn't for anything like that. Which has just reminded me, actually. I haven't told a story about our mum for a while. Would you like to hear one?
Go on, then.
Right. I was at the parents yesterday, and I was with my mum sat there in the kitchen, and our brother John FaceTimed her. So they were talking on the phone, and it kept freezing. But anyway, and the more it froze, the more she was getting louder. And I was like, Mum, it doesn't matter how loud you are, it doesn't improve the connection. She's like, oh yeah. But anyway, she's talking with her brother. And he's saying that he's had to go to the doctors. He's had a bit of a problem. I think he's got shingles. And Mum turned around and says, "Oh well, what was the name that's give you that then?" And we're like, "Look, it's not a sexually transmitted disease." John then sort of joking, he says, "No, that's what the urinary infection was caused by." Mum turns around and says, "Well, you should have told her to clean her teeth better then." At that point, I've cracked at that point. I'm like, oh my fucking god. Right, okay. There'll be more mum stories to tell in the future, but for now I'm leaving it at that. Right, time to bring this to an end then, guys. 50 episodes done. Bosh, you've been watching Taskmaster. So, I just want to say well done to James for staying awake this week.
Yeah, I'm just sick of feeling like crap. Hopefully, I'll feel better next week.
Yeah, I mean,
watch next week. I'll have something else.
You'll come on and be like, I can't talk today, guys. Why not? I've lost a leg. But yeah, I mean, you can tell in your voice that you're not with it, and you haven't been with it for about 28 years.
No, that's it. Put me down.
I only put you down to lift you up again. I look forward to when you're back on form. Also, I've got to give you shit for how you beat me last night, you bastard.
Oh no, sorry.
You should have heard him, Steve. When he'd unmuted himself, the joy in his voice was like, oh, I'm really sorry if I did anything wrong, but that was amazing. And I'm like, yeah, fuck off. But no, you did well. You deserved it. You did well.
He needed some points. He's on minus from it.
Yeah, I've got 7 points now.
Although from yesterday, I know I said we're going to go, and we are going to go. The funny thing from yesterday was I didn't have Dave or James shared on my broadcast, and Dave the ARP, just as we start qualifying, I think it was, says, "Oh, just allow my voice, Dave. I'll be good." It's like, nah, I don't think I'll do that, Dave. 20 seconds later, he's giving it, "Fucking hell, what the fuck are you doing, you fucking dickhead? Fucking doing this and fucking." He went on for about 2 minutes. And it's like, yeah, he said himself, yeah, it's probably not a good idea to unmute me. It's like, I know. Anyway, right, time to say goodbye. Join us next Tuesday for a review of the Russian Grand Prix. There'll be much more F1 talk there, and hopefully if James is well enough, we'll do our after show as well. And I will, depending on how James's voice is and how busy he is, see if I can get him to do some voiceovers on some animal clips, and also I want to get us three doing some commentary as Hando on some clips as well. Whether that'll be for next week or not, I don't know, but it'll be something that we can try and work on. Anyway, time to say goodbye, so thank you very much for listening in. Make sure you like, subscribe, check out Neil deGrasse Tyson, check out Flat Earth Society, they're all over the globe. Check out Forever Relentless Racing on Facebook and YouTube, Dynamic GT League on Facebook and YouTube, and anything else that I've forgotten to mention.
I don't know anything else.
Okay, right, in that case, hope you like the new graphics, the new intros and all that kind of stuff, and thank you to James for spending the time putting them all together. So let's see how the Russian Grand Prix will go, and we'll talk about it next week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
See ya.
Blah 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 blah.